You think that Gypsy is financially abusing Ken to keep him in line, and I absolutely agree. And I am going to go over what financial abuse is and how people use financial abuse as a means to control their partner. Having been in a financially abusive relationship for 14 years, I am very aware on how abusers use finances or the lack thereof to keep you in control or keep you submitted to what they want you to do. The power imbalance is what creates abusive relationships. The abuser wants to have complete control over you, and we've already seen that in Gypsy's behavior towards Ken. She wants complete control over him. So financial abuse can sometimes look like the other partner just withholding money from you by, say, giving you an allowance and not really giving you any access to money outside of that allowance. And then you have to use that allowance to pay bills, buy groceries, do whatever is necessary, but that's all the money that you get. So that's one example. Financial abuse can also look like your partner sabotaging every single job that you have by constantly calling or texting and making you so anxious while you're at work that you make mistakes and end up losing job after job after job. It can also be financially abusive if your partner just comes and sits at your job while you're working. Imagine how anxious you'd be if they did that every single day, and then you're nervous, you're gonna lose your job. Financial abuse can also look like you working several jobs while your partner isn't working any job. And then last but not least, and this is what I think is happening with Ken, your partner can be so overly codependent on you that even the mere thought of you going to work has them spinning out of control, thinking that you're going to be at said job, cheating on them with some other person. So they won't even allow you to work because they are obsessed with the idea that if you are out of their sight in any way, shape, or form, that you're going to cheat. I think that's what's going on with Ken and Gypsy. I think she is so incredibly insecure to have him out of her sight that she is keeping him so close to her that she is literally smothering him with love and obsession. So another thing that I wanted to mention is that narcissists do not view people as people. They view people as conquests, things to achieve. So we all know that Ken broke up with her while she was in prison. Well, this detrimented her ego, and it deflated her ego to the point where she was obsessed with not him, but getting him back just so she could raise her self-worth by having this man. She doesn't necessarily love him. She loves the idea of having him because in her mind, she believes that he is the best that she can do. I mean, look at her and look at him. And I don't want to really bring Ryan into this a lot because I feel like Ryan is a good guy and was manipulated by Gypsy as well. But he's not the best looking man. He is a nice, sweet gentleman, and I feel like he really did care about Gypsy. But again, narcissists do not view people as people. They view them as conquests, objects, things to be had, things to get rid of when they are no longer serving a purpose. We are already seeing this a little bit in Gypsy's behavior towards Ken. She is starting to act the same way with him as she did with Ryan whenever she was fed up with Ryan and done and ready to move back on to Ken. But back to the financial abuse, I had some notes. So the goal is to either make you so dependent on them financially that you fear not being able to take care of yourself or provide for yourself financially well enough to leave. Another scenario could be that you are overworked and tired from being the only one who works, that you're too overstimulated to realize they're abusing you by not working. This keeps your mind focused on what you're doing rather than what they're not doing. So we all know what overt abuse looks like. That is like me telling you that I don't like you wearing that shirt. It shows too much cleavage, blah, 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 blah. I don't want you going to that place because there's too many guys there, whatever. But covert control is a little bit sneakier because they don't outright come out and say, I don't want you to do this. So in Gypsy and Ken's situation, I can see her acting all pouty and sad and childish if he talks about wanting to go and find a job. And possibly whenever he was working, him coming home and her arguing with him all evening long about what he did at work, as if he was at work doing something like cheating on her. So in his mind, he's better off not working at all, because then at least he doesn't have to hear the arguing whenever he comes home from work that he knows he's going to hear if he's working an actual job. So by him not working, he is financially dependent on her, which gives her power over him. There are 4 pillars of abuse: entitlement, objectification, expectation of submission, and lack of accountability. You can see all 4 pillars of abuse in their relationship dynamic. All you have to do is watch. I will put on a very small clip for us to see how she dismisses him very much so in front of people on the live. She doesn't allow his opinion to matter to anyone while she is on live. She also makes statements about how, look at all the likes that we're getting on the live. I think that she's trying to coerce him into allowing her to go live more frequently so that she can get the validation and the attention that she is craving, because that's what she craves. And you heard her in one live saying, oh, life is just getting boring. That's because she's not getting the attention that she needs. So her going live was exciting for her because she finally felt validated by all of the people commenting, sending gifts, liking the live, all of those things. Gypsy is a very manipulative human being, and if she's not stopped, she's going to continue to take more and more and more and more victims every single day. We've already seen that she's doing a Nick Vile podcast a second time, and if you go to the comments, it is primarily negative. Like, everybody is disappointed in Nick Vile for giving this liar a platform, a second opportunity to come onto his podcast and lie to all of his millions of subscribers. I can't find the damn video. I'll have to come back whenever I find the video. But I do believe that Gypsy is not only financially abusing him, I believe she's abusing him in other ways too. I think he is starting to wear down from the psychological, emotional, mental, verbal, and financial abuse. And I don't think that it's going to be long before one of them breaks. However, anytime you go through an abusive relationship, it does take you time to recover from that. I've been separated for almost 2 years, and I'm still not fully recovered from all of the abuse that I've endured in my previous relationship, where I was financially abused for over 14 years. And if you'd like to hear more about that story, I'm happy to talk about it. But for now, I'll keep pointing out the abusive tendencies that I see in Gypsy and Ken's relationship. Tell me what you've seen.